Hello, social anxiety watchers, overcomers, trying to overcomers. David H. here again with a educational video on social anxiety. And I have a cool handout and concept I'm going to talk about. And it's the power of acting, fake it till you make it, pretending all these things that you're probably going to hate and feel are wrong to do because they're not genuine and authentic because you have social anxiety. And I felt this way for a very, very long time. Okay? So, in this handout, Dr. Richard says this. Fake it if you need to at first. The more you practice this, the less fake it becomes and the more genuine and authentic it will feel. We need to do things first before we start to feel natural about them. Even though you don't feel natural about it at first, when you begin acting in a certain way, it becomes easier and more natural, so that finally it's no longer acting at all. It is simply normal, natural behavior on your part. So let's talk about, from a neurobiology perspective, what natural behavior means. All it means is stuff that's wired in your head a certain way. Okay, those pathways are wired. So it feels natural because those pathways just activate and they run. But it doesn't mean they're what has to be true for you. What they don't have to be your pathways, okay? Because the social anxiety pathways didn't used to exist, and now they exist, and now they feel natural simply because they exist there. And that's what we're doing when we rewire your brain, so that eventually your social pathways will be natural, okay? There really isn't a natural in that sense. It's just kind of what's going on in your head. This was a hard one for me to get, and here's the clincher of how I got it. So let's just assume that, okay, what you have is natural because it's wired in there, but you got to follow the logic here. It didn't used to be natural for you, but now you call it natural. So there's a disparity there in the logic. So I wrote this statement down once this clicked for me about this faking, because I said, well, if I'm going to have to fake it till I make it to be social and get rid of my social anxiety, I've been faking it this whole time. My social anxiety is a big fucking fake lie that I put into my head and you put into your head. And basically, it's just a story. It's just a lie. So I'd rather tell a more fun lie or a story. So I really look at it more of a story, okay? A lie has a bad connotation. I'm using that as a powerful point. But if you say I'm lying to myself and inauthentic, well, guess what? When you got your social anxiety, you were being inauthentic and you were lying to yourself, okay? You have to realize this. This is exactly what you did, what I did, what we've all done. Even though it doesn't feel like it, you're going to eventually have to learn to act against those feelings. It's going to be easier when you do your cognitive therapy, your affirmation work. It's going to set you up so you're going to be successful. It's important. But at some point, you have to act against those feelings. And that's just the bottom line. That's what I've had to do. And it's part of the behavioral part of the therapy, okay? So here's a statement that I wrote down. Once I figured out that my social anxiety story was a lie and something that had been installed into me in an emotional situation with a lying story. My antisocial behaviors are an act in themselves, one that I used to protect myself because I didn't know any better. So acting in this new way is just a set of behaviors and thoughts that represent an open, warm, and passionate individual who doesn't hide from people and likes to be social. So right there, I created a statement, and I'm going to make another video on rational conditional statements. So I explained, the negative stuff, the stuff that's not good, but I didn't blame myself, and then I let it into what I want to be. It's a pretty powerful one, rational conditional statements that Dr. Richards teaches about. So there you have it. This is the fake it till you make it, and you were faking it until you made it to have social anxiety. And if you can get this concept, I think it's going to help you a lot, and you can actually start to be really free just by understanding fundamentally that, oh, this story is bullshit, man. The story is total crap, and I want to put some good stuff in my head. And for me, it was sort of a turning point. I had been doing the work for probably, I think I came upon this handout like 10 or 11 weeks in, maybe even longer. And, I was, oh, this is bullshit. And then all of a sudden I hit this handout, and then I processed through it. I read some other things, and I said, whoa, cool, a fundamental shift. And you'll have a lot of fundamental shifts. I call fundamental shift or a core shift because it's almost like a belief locks into place that builds a new platform for who you want to be. And another belief locks into place. And it gets stronger and stronger so that your core, these little realizations and ahas, they happen, and then you can't go back because all you got to do is remember them. Sometimes you'll forget, and then you'll remember, oh yeah, I did learn that, and it's just, it stacks on itself. It's really great. So anyways, I hope that video helped you about, the feeling like you're inauthentic or you're lying to yourself, and, the fake it till you make it thing. What fake it till you make it really means. And all it means is you want to change and choose who you want to be, and then practice that. And repetitive, law of repetition, do it over and over until it gets into your brain. So you can rewire your brain with the neuroplasticity that I've talked about. Okay, so you guys have a good one, and any questions, comments, take care. Subscribe to my YouTube channel up above on this side, and check out my blog, socialexpression.net. You can sign up for the newsletter there as well. I hope I've helped you guys. Bye.